All right, so I'm here right now talking about some crazy dream or goal that I have, whatever you want to call it. And basically, if you looked at my history and you looked at where I am now, you would say I'm a fool for even thinking like this. And I'm gonna admit, it does sound foolish. It does sound crazy. And normally I wouldn't even come out with a message like this. I would keep it to myself. Um, I did recently uh, join someone in his program, and it's really helping me a lot, helping me to set goals in a way that I never did before. And one of those things is to you put pressure on yourself by really putting it out there, what you want to do. And I was really putting pressure on myself regardless, in the sense that I did everything I needed, or I did everything um, as far as effort is concerned to reach the goal that I wanted. But now I have a lot better goals because of this. And I have a journal here of I picked four major goals, and my number one major goal, the crazy ridiculous goal that sounds so insane that I didn't even want to come out with this message, but I don't care if I get laughed at. I don't care if I get joked at. I don't care how delusional I sound. I decided to come out with it anyway. So I had to talk myself into coming out with this message. But my number one goal is to win a World Cup, specifically the 2026 World Cup. So I'm making a series right now. It's going to be Road to the World Cup 2026. So it is now May 27th, 2021. The odds, I would say, are heavily stacked against me. I'm an amateur soccer player right now. And not only forget about going to the World Cup, just being a professional soccer player, and I'm 30 years old and trying to convince people that I'm an asset, that's a tough sell. That is a tough sell. If you're in the area of sports and you know of and you're thinking of an athlete who's never made it pro before, and he's 30, 31 years old, and you got 18, 19, 20, 21 year old, 22 year olds trying to convince that trying to convince another team or coach that a 30-year-old, 31-year-old player is an asset is a tough sell in athletics. Um, but I believe that it can be achieved. I do believe that. I do believe that I can play until I'm 40 and into my 40s at a high level if I want to, as far as physicality is concerned, as far as my mind being sharp, as far as being mentally tough. I have to be obviously more careful with what I put in my body and how I recover, things like that, how I rest. And in this journal that I have a section split up: the benefits of winning a World Cup, the obstacles. This was probably the biggest thing: the obstacles, and then how to minimize those obstacles. And then I also have skills and knowledge to attain the goal, which I have some grasp of. I already had some grasp of. And then listing the people and resources that can help you achieve that goal, and your plan of action, what you're going to do. This is something, another thing, writing it all down, scheduling it out when you see it every day, the night before, and then putting it deadlines and milestones, which I have here on this side. But anyways, June and July 2026 is when the World Cup is here in America, and that's my goal: to play from an amateur soccer player at 30 years old right now to playing in the World Cup in 2026. Then I have milestones. So my first milestone is to become a pro in 2022 or 2023. And I'm an amateur right now. It's May. I got to get surgery in like a couple weeks, but that's my goal. 2022 or 2023, just become a pro. Become an MLS player in 2023 or 2024. An MLS player. Be in the running for the best MLS player in 2024 or 2025. I just need to be in the running. So when people talk about the best players in the league, my name has to come up either in 2024 or 2025. And then I have to make a national team debut in 2025. I think if I make a national team debut in 2025, that my chances of playing in the World Cup are possible in the sense that I'm on the radar. So I think anytime in 2025 would be ideal. Maybe 2026, but I think 2025 is better. So that's my milestone, and then that's pretty much the goals. But it is a crazy goal. I know I'm gonna get called delusional. I know I'm gonna get laughed at. I know people are gonna be like, "This guy's out of his mind. He's whack." And I can't tell you how many times, how many days, and I gotta get it out of my system. I got two thoughts going in my mind. One says that I am crazy, delusional, ridiculous, like given where I am, given where I've been, given my age, how in the world could I come up with such a goal? Going into that, whenever you achieve goals, the problem with a lot of us is that we put small goals. When we put small end goals, we put small daily goals, we get small weekly goals, we get small monthly goals, small yearly goals. When you put goals, actually the reason I set this goal is going back into the program that I was in, because before all I said is I want to be a professional. I don't care. I just want to be a professional. I don't care if it's the 4th division in US or the 3rd division in US. And then the group that I'm in, the coach was like, "No, you need to set a goal as if you have no limitations, as if you have nothing from the world or from other people putting you down or trying to limit you. You have to think as if there's no limitations on you. What would you want to achieve?" So that's what I would want to achieve, to win a World Cup. So I went to that extent, and I'm putting myself out there to be laughed at. I don't care what happens. I want this so bad. I can live with myself regardless of the result. I'm gonna die knowing that I gave everything I did. I put everything I have. I put everything on the line. I put myself under pressure to achieve this goal. Not just to myself, but in front of others. So I can live with that when I die. I can live with that. I'm not gonna have a single regret about that. But yeah, this is something, man. I've probably dreamed it since I was like 7 years old, and despite all the things I've been through up to this point, there were times that I definitely did doubt myself and forget about going to the World Cup, even becoming a professional. And sometimes I still question myself, but I'm getting into the habit of not questioning myself at all. So I gotta develop this mindset to achieve that goal. But that's it for today's episode, Road to World Cup, episode 1. And stay tuned.